Hey everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here for another Quilters vibe with Daisy, Christy, and Sarah. I got to pick the quilt inspiration this month and I chose this fun butterfly that I found while searching through Pinterest. And I am going to go really literal and count the amount of stars that are in there, make them one by one little squares, and create this butterfly. This is a little time intensive. I love the finished layout though. So I decided to pull out my indigo and ivory collection from Pink Paisley. I only have the 6x6 paper pad. I got it from Blitzy when they had a sale, and that's all I have from it. It's beautiful and I really did like the collection. However, it's a little too, I don't know what the word is, but it's just not really my style. And so I knew just getting the paper pad would probably satisfy my need of the fact that it was pretty and I wanted it. I just didn't need all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I have to think here and I have to count how many squares I need. And I actually miscounted and did the wrong amount of squares, but that's okay. I make it work. I also knew that I was creating this because in the butterfly that you can see, it is a 10 by 10 canvas, and obviously I'm creating a 12 by 12 layout. So I had to be mindful about how I was doing this and where I place it. And I'll be honest, you'll see when you look at it, I was mindful of what I was doing, but I started it too high up. And so by the time I finish, my butterfly is very at the top of the page, which is fine because with the photo I chose to use, it all works out in the end. But yes, time intensive, and not even just the fact that I'm cutting the squares here. And I loved the idea of, because I was doing a butterfly, to make that center beautiful piece a butterfly too, and just really highlight that fact. But I picked out my pattern papers from the collection and I tried to go, I wasn't trying to match the butterfly exactly. Like, I know you can see there's a white background and then there's green. I didn't exactly mean to do that, but I picked out my pieces, and then as I'm looking at it, I was thinking, this is really pretty, but it would be highlighted a ton more if I did some stitching to it. So I didn't just do any type of stitching. I went and did some chain stitching for part of it, and then I just did the back stitch for the other parts. Now there's 4 separate layers. I'm kind of doing air quotes here, but 4 separate pattern papers I'm using. So I used 4 separate pieces of stitching, or colors of stitching, to help kind of emphasize each stage of the butterfly in the quilt pattern. So yes, it's super time intensive. I did want to highlight the middle part of the butterfly I put it all up on some fun foam. You can see that there, and trying to figure out which patterns needed to go next to what to make it just work. It was fun. It was fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was challenging, but it was really fun. And I love the way it turned out. And this is not a color scheme you will see from me very often. I do not do this color scheme, but I really love it, especially with the final photo that I pick. So originally my idea here is I have this photo of my feet in the sand taken from Canada Day, and I was going to have the butterfly kind of overlay on top of my photo on a pink background that you saw earlier. I didn't like the pink, so I went back to the white. I didn't really like the way that looked. Now the colors aren't really matching my photo, especially with the big red Canada that you can see there. But I have another photo here that is of myself and Jackson taken from my birthday, and he's wanted to take a selfie with me. So I'm wearing this kind of, army green tank top, and it just happens to blend perfectly. He's got a little bit of red and black in there, so a little bit darker, and we're sitting against his grandma's couch, so it's like a blue couch. So the color tones just happen to work really well with the pattern papers I chose, and I didn't do that on purpose. I hadn't picked my photos until after I had created the butterfly, but it works really well. However, of course, the butterfly with the green tones and that darker photo don't work on the pink. So switch it back to the white and do it all over. Here you can see I'm going to bring in my stitching. That is when I decided I needed to go ahead and do that. And I received all of this thread that you're going to see me looking through here. I got a little goodie bag gift from the lovely Sharon. She sent me some goodies, and part of that was this beautiful container full of thread, and I love it. And I have used like 3 of the colors up already, so it's highly being used, Sharon. Thank you very, very, very much. I love it. And I can only get a certain type. I don't know why, but where I am, I've gone to my Michael's. There is nothing at my Walmart, but all I can get is not embroidery thread, but like the thread you use to make like kids jewelry. So embroidery thread is like a rare commodity around here. I don't know where to find it without spending like a ton of money, and I'm not going to do that for embroidery thread. So yes, I really, really love it. So yes, I went off camera. It took me, a while, and I don't scrap in one sitting. I have to do things in chunks. It's just the way I have to scrap. I was watching Melissa talk about that as well. She is a busy mom of 4, so it's the way it is, and I am not even working, but obviously I have a really little one still, and it doesn't happen. I don't get to just sit and scrap a layout. I don't think I've ever finished a layout in one sitting. It just doesn't happen for me. So it took a little bit of time. I did some stitching, and then when Barrett was napping, and then when he woke up, I'd play with him and the kids and whatever, and I would sit and talk to Jackson about his day after he got home from camp, and as he was talking to me, I'd be stitching, and I'd stitch while I was watching TV with Sean at night, and that's just how I get it done. It works for me. I probably say I scrapbook in probably like 15-minute to 10, maybe even 10-minute increments here and there throughout the day. So within a day, I probably get to scrap an hour a day. I would say that's pretty fair. And that's how I get my stuff done. I like it that way too, because I get to sit and ponder about my layouts, and kind of it takes longer, so I get to kind of enjoy my process a little bit longer, and for me, that just works really well. All right, so this is a layout about me on my birthday. So I pulled out a couple birthday sayings, just because, again, the colors kind of matched, and it's about me. I did want to bring in a little bit of that red color because of Jackson's shirt. So I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to highlight my photo with one more piece of pattern paper from the collection, just so there's something there to help pop it up a little bit. I really think that it helped balance everything out. I didn't want to use white. I didn't want that stark contrast, especially with the white background that I chose. So this one worked really well. And then I took some of the scraps from that and made a little border at the bottom so I could highlight a couple of the cut aparts that I wanted to use from this 6x6 pad. Of course, being a 6x6 pad, the cut aparts are teensy weensy. But it was a perfect place. One of them says my happy place, and another one had a little blank space, which was perfect for me to put the date. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I just kind of play a little bit with embellishing what I wanted to do. I was pretty stuck after this. Again, not the color scheme I normally use, so where to go with it kind of threw me off, and I was like, I really, really don't know what to do. I thought about sequins and making a tail, like the butterfly was flying with sequins, but I didn't really love the way that looked, so I take that away. So yeah, I try a few different things to try to make everything work. I play with the placement of things, but I walk away, come back, try to figure out where my title should go, and once I figure out my title, the rest of it kind of goes together. I also thought maybe finishing it off by highlighting it with that doily. That really helped too. Brought a softness to it. This layout is quite soft anyways. And then I brought in this word together, kind of talking about, it's our relationship together, and he wanted to take a photo with his mom on Mother's Day, and I thought that was not Mother's Day, on my birthday, and that was really, really sweet. And then I pulled out the Maggie Holmes new line that I cannot think of what it's called right now, but it just happened to work perfectly. There was a couple butterflies. The colors do not match at all. They're the wrong tones, but I make it work. And then there's also the perfect little journaling spot. I didn't like the saying, so I just grabbed another little sticker to do that. And it works. I love it. I really am proud of the way this layout turned out, and I'm proud of the time I took to create it. Please make sure to head on over and check out Daisy and Sarah's takes. We always do such different things with one inspiration piece, and it's always so fun to see what everyone comes up with. So make sure you check that out. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and here is a look at my finished layout with everything all glued down. I will see everyone soon with another layout. Bye!